U.S. equity futures are eyeing a positive open. It's a busy week for economic data earnings and central bank meetings, and this is ahead of next week's U.S. presidential election. Now, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 closed lower on Friday, while the Dow Jones Industrial was mixed. Pharmaceuticals, biotech and life sciences, healthcare equipment and services, as well as food and staples, retailing sectors were all under pressure. And on the economic data front, last Friday, annualized GDP in the U.S. rose in Q3 by 2.9% quarter over quarter from an increase of 1.4% in the previous quarter. Separately, personal consumption here in the U.S. improved by 2.1% in the latest quarter from 4.3% in the prior quarter. And in other economic data releases, the University of Michigan Sentiment Index was slightly lower at 87.2 in October, following the final estimate, which was compared to 87.9 in the previous estimate. And the S&P 500 is below its 20-day moving average. As for advancers and decliners, 47% of S&P 500 constituents traded lower on Friday. And in the after-hours market, Baker Hughes hosted an investor webcast together with General Electric. Now, GE reached a deal to combine its oil and gas business with Baker Hughes. The new company will be publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and will be 62.5% owned by GE and 37.5% owned by Baker Hughes shareholders. GE will contribute its oil and gas business and $7.4 billion through a special one-time cash dividend of $17.50 for each Baker Hughes share. And in other news, Hilton Worldwide was recommended by Barron's. In terms of today's earnings, we have NextEra Energy, as well as Southern Company, Dominion Resources, Anadarko Petroleum, as well as Cardinal Health. And for economic data today, we have personal income and spending here in the U.S. for the month of September, and we have Chicago PMI for October, as well as the October Dallas Fed Manufacturing Activity Index. In overseas markets, Asian markets were lower, with the Nikkei off by 0.1%, the Hang Seng off by nearly 0.1%, and South Korea's Kospi down over 0.5%. European indices are losing ground on this Monday. As for the U.S. equity indices, for the S&P 500 on an intraday basis, limited upside is expected. Trading Central analysts prefer long positions above 2107 with targets at 2135 and 2144 in extension. As for the Nasdaq on an intraday basis, Trading Central analysts do see limited upside, while for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, a rebound is expected.